The 1% mentality is a mindset that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. It's about pushing beyond limits, embracing discomfort, and refusing to settle for mediocrity. The concept revolves around the idea that the top 1% of people, whether in sports, business, academics, or personal growth, operate differently than the rest. They don't rely on motivation alone. They cultivate discipline, resilience, and an unstoppable work ethic. The story follows the journey of James Carter, a young man who grew up in a small town where mediocrity was the norm. He dreamed of becoming a world-class athlete, but with no natural talent, no wealthy background, and no special advantages. He had only one thing: an unshakable 1% mentality. Society often glorifies talent, making it seem like success is reserved for the naturally gifted. We hear stories about child prodigies, athletes with superior genetics, or geniuses who effortlessly rise to the top. But what these stories fail to emphasize is that raw talent alone is useless without hard work. Talent might give someone a head start, but it's consistency, effort, and discipline that determine who ultimately succeeds. The most successful people in history weren't necessarily the most talented. They were the ones willing to work harder than anyone else. Why hard work beats talent every time. Talent without work ethic leads nowhere. Imagine two individuals. Person A is naturally gifted but doesn't put in effort. Person B has average talent but works relentlessly every single day. Over time, person B will surpass person A because skills grow through practice and effort. Talent might give an initial advantage, but if it's not nurtured, it fades. Meanwhile, someone who works consistently will develop their skills beyond what talent alone could achieve. Example, a high school basketball player with natural height and skill who never trains will lose to a shorter, less naturally gifted player who trains daily. Hard work creates its own talent. Most people assume talent is fixed, but science proves otherwise. Skills and intelligence can be developed through deliberate practice. Neuroscience shows that the brain forms new neural connections when we repeatedly challenge ourselves, meaning that what we call talent is often just mastery earned through effort. Example, studies on musicians show that practice time, not natural ability, is the biggest predictor of skill level. Top violinists practiced for over 1,000,000 hours, while average ones only practiced half as much. Key insight: hard work doesn't just complement talent, it can create the illusion of talent over time. Hard work builds mental toughness. Talent doesn't prepare you for failure. Many talented people quit the moment they face adversity because they're used to things coming easily. Hard work, on the other hand, builds resilience. When you work relentlessly, you develop the ability to push through setbacks, learn from failures instead of quitting, stay disciplined even when results are slow. Example, Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Instead of quitting, he trained harder than anyone else, eventually becoming the greatest player of all time. Hard workers outlast everyone else. Most people rely on talent alone and burn out when things get tough. But those who work hard keep going long after others give up. This persistence is what separates the top 1% from everyone else. Example, Thomas Edison failed over 1,000,000 times before inventing the light bulb. He wasn't the most naturally brilliant scientist, but he was the most persistent. Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Thomas Edison, how to develop a hard work mindset: commit to a daily grind, no matter how small. Do something every day to improve your craft. Embrace repetition. Mastery comes from repetition, not from talent alone. Work when others rest. Use your time wisely. Work harder than those around you. Measure effort, not just results. Focus on putting in the work consistently, even if progress seems slow. Stay resilient. When talent fails, hard work keeps you going. Final thought: will you rely on talent or effort? The world is filled with talented people who never made it, but there's not a single person at the top who didn't work relentlessly to get there. Your talent doesn't define you, your work ethic does. Will you outwork the competition, or will you rely on talent and fade away? Discipline over motivation, the key to long-term success. Why motivation is overrated. Motivation is often portrayed as the driving force behind success. People watch motivational videos, listen to inspiring speeches, and wait for that perfect moment to feel energized. But motivation is temporary and unreliable. It comes and goes. On the other hand, discipline is consistent. It doesn't depend on feelings, moods, or circumstances. When motivation fades, which it always does, discipline keeps you moving forward. Why? Discipline beats motivation every time. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is logical. Motivation is based on emotions. You feel excited after hearing an inspiring story, so you take action. But what happens when that excitement disappears? Most people stop. Discipline, however, is based on commitment, not emotions. You train yourself to take action regardless of how you feel. Example, Kobe Bryant didn't train at 4 a.m. every day because he was always motivated. He did it because he was disciplined. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Motivation is short term. Discipline is long term. Motivation often fades after a few days or weeks. That's why people start New Year's resolutions but fail by February. Discipline, however, builds long-term habits that create permanent success. Example, people motivated to lose weight may diet for a few weeks and then quit. Disciplined people build a routine of healthy eating and exercise, making fitness a lifestyle, not just a phase. Discipline builds habits that make success inevitable. Success isn't about one big moment. It's about daily habits. Discipline forces you to build non-negotiable routines so success becomes automatic. Example, James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, explains that habits, not motivation, determine success. If you build the habit of writing 500 words daily, eventually you'll write a book, whether you feel like it or not. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Discipline trains you to push through resistance. There will always be days when you don't feel like working, training, or studying. If you rely on motivation, you'll quit. Discipline trains your mind to work even when it's hard. The more you practice discipline, the easier it becomes. Example, David Goggins, former Navy SEAL, trained his mind by running daily no matter how exhausted he was. Over time, his mental toughness became unstoppable. How to build discipline even when you don't feel like it. Make a schedule and stick to it. Don't wait for motivation. Set a schedule and follow it no matter what. Remove emotion from the equation. Treat work like brushing your teeth. Just do it, whether you feel like it or not. Start small, stay consistent. Success isn't about huge efforts. Doing something every day builds momentum. Use the 5-second rule. When you hesitate, count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and start immediately. This stops your brain from making excuses. Focus on identity, not just action. Instead of saying, I want to work out, say, I am the type of person who never skips workouts. Final thought, discipline is the ultimate superpower. The people who succeed aren't the ones who feel like working every day. They're the ones who show up and put in the work regardless of how they feel. Will you wait for motivation, or will you build the discipline that guarantees success? Consistency over intensity, the key to sustainable success, why most people fail. Many people believe that working extremely hard for a short period will bring them success. They go all in for a few days or weeks, but quickly burn out. They expect instant results and quit when things don't happen fast enough. The truth, success isn't built in a day, it's built daily. It's not about how hard you go in one day. It's about how consistently you show up over months and years. Why consistency beats intensity. Every time intensity is temporary, consistency is permanent. Intensity is when you go all out for a short time. It's running 10 miles in one day, but then skipping workouts for a week. Consistency is running just 2 miles every day, no matter what. Over time, consistency beats intensity because small daily actions add up. Example, someone who does 50 push-ups once a week won't get fit. Someone who does 10 push-ups every day will build strength over time. Small daily improvements are the key to staggering long-term results. Darren Hardy, the compound effect. The compound effect. Small actions lead to massive results. Every action you take compounds over time. Just like money in a bank earns interest, daily habits create momentum. The effects may not be visible in the short term, but they stack up exponentially over months and years. Example, if you read 10 pages of a book daily, you'll finish 18 books in a year. If you improve just 1% every day, you'll be 37 times better in a year because of compound growth. An overnight success is just the result of years of consistent effort. Consistency relies on willpower, intensity relies on motivation, which is unreliable. Consistency turns actions into automatic habits, making success effortless over time. Example, brushing your teeth is easy because it's a habit. If you apply the same mindset to working out, studying, or business, success becomes automatic. Key insight. Willpower is limited, but habits make success inevitable. Consistency creates mental toughness. Showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, builds resilience and mental strength. Intensity feels good in the moment, but true discipline is built through consistency. Example, David Goggins runs daily no matter the weather because he knows consistency makes him mentally unbreakable. Discipline equals freedom. Jocko Willink, How to Build Consistency, Make It Automatic. Start small. Make your habits so easy you can't fail. Example, do just 5 minutes of exercise daily. Once it's a habit, increase it. Make it a non-negotiable. Treat your goals like brushing your teeth, something you do no matter what. Track your progress. Use a habit tracker to stay accountable and see how small actions add up. Stay patient. Trust that small efforts will compound over time, even if you don't see immediate results. Never skip twice. If you miss a day, get back on track immediately to maintain momentum. Final thought, consistency is the ultimate game changer. Anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can go all in for a week, but the ones who succeed are those who show up every single day, year after year. Will you be the person who quits after an intense burst of effort, or will you be the one who stays consistent until success is inevitable? Why failure is a necessary step to success. Most people see failure as the end of the road, a sign that they aren't good enough or that they should quit. But the truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Every great achiever has failed countless times, but what separates them from everyone else is resilience. The ability to push forward, learn from mistakes, and come back stronger. Why resilience through failure is crucial. Failure is the best teacher. Success teaches you what works, but failure teaches you what doesn't. And that is just as important. Every failure gives you data, experience, and wisdom to improve and try again smarter. Example, Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." Key insight, failure is only wasted if you don't learn from it. Resilience builds mental strength. Every time you push through failure, you become mentally stronger. Resilience teaches you how to handle rejection, obstacles, and setbacks without breaking. Example, Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Instead of quitting, he used it as fuel to train harder, eventually becoming one of the greatest athletes of all time. I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan key insight. The more you overcome failure, the stronger you become. Failure separates the weak from the strong. Most people quit when they fail, but those who keep going are the ones who succeed. Resilience is what filters out those who give up and those who keep pushing until they win. Example, J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, was rejected 12 times by publishers. If she had quit after the first rejection, the world would have never seen Harry Potter. Key insight, the biggest difference between those who succeed and those who fail is who keeps going. Failure forces growth and adaptation. When you fail, you are forced to adapt, adjust, and improve. Every setback makes you better and stronger for the next attempt. Example, Elon Musk failed multiple times with SpaceX rocket launches. Each failure gave them insights to improve, and now SpaceX is one of the most advanced space companies in the world. Key insight, every failure makes you wiser, stronger, and closer to success. If you use it correctly, how to develop resilience through failure. Reframe failure as feedback. Instead of seeing failure as a loss, see it as a lesson. Embrace discomfort. Growth happens outside your comfort zone, and failure is part of the journey. Keep moving forward. No matter how hard you fall, get back up and try again. Analyze and adapt. Study what went wrong, make improvements, and go again with a smarter approach. Develop a never quit mindset. The only real failure is giving up. Keep pushing until you win. Final thought, failure is the price of success. Every successful person you admire failed more times than most people even tried. The only difference, they refuse to quit. Will you let failure break you, or will you use it to build unstoppable resilience? Sacrifice over comfort, the price of true success. Why comfort is the enemy of growth. Most people want success, but few are willing to sacrifice for it. Instead, they choose comfort, easy choices, minimal effort, and short-term pleasure. But greatness is never found in comfort. Every highly successful person has made sacrifices. They gave up distractions, worked while others slept, and endured hardships most people avoid. If you want something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. Success requires choosing long-term rewards over short-term comfort. Why sacrifice always beats comfort. Comfort kills potential. Sacrifice unlocks it. Comfort zones keep you safe but stagnant. Growth requires pushing past limits. which means discomfort, effort, and sacrificing ease for progress. Example, a person who chooses Netflix over reading and learning will never grow. A person who sacrifices entertainment to build skills will eventually outperform everyone else. Key insight: success comes from doing what others won't so you can have what others can't. Short-term comfort leads to long-term regret. Many people avoid sacrifices because they want instant gratification. They choose pleasure now instead of progress later. But every time you choose comfort over sacrifice, you are delaying your success. Example, eating junk food today feels good, but in 5 years you may regret the weight gain and health issues. Waking up early to work out feels painful today, but in 5 years you'll be grateful for the discipline and results. Key insight: sacrifice now so you don't live with regret later. Success requires giving up good for great. Most people settle for good enough because they fear sacrificing comfort for something greater. If you want extraordinary results, you must be willing to let go of ordinary habits. Example, Elon Musk worked 100-hour weeks sleeping in his office, sacrificing personal time to build Tesla and SpaceX. Cristiano Ronaldo skips parties, follows strict diets, and sacrifices free time to train harder than anyone else. Key insight: if you want to be the best, you can't live like the rest. Sacrifice builds resilience and discipline. The more you sacrifice, the stronger your mindset becomes. Comfort makes you weak, but sacrifice makes you unstoppable. Example, David Goggins, a Navy SEAL, sacrifices sleep and comfort to train his mind and body to be indestructible. He runs for hours in extreme conditions because he knows sacrifice builds mental toughness. Key insight: the more you sacrifice, the stronger you become. How to embrace sacrifice and let go of comfort traps. What are you unwilling to give up that is holding you back? Make sacrifice a habit. Start small. Wake up earlier. Work extra hours. Cut distractions. Delay gratification. Choose progress over pleasure. Long-term success over short-term fun. Surround yourself with hard workers. Comfort spreads like a virus. Stay around people who push limits. Remember your why. When sacrifice feels tough, remind yourself why you started. Final thought: are you willing to pay the price? Success is not free. It demands sacrifice. If you refuse to sacrifice, you are choosing mediocrity. Will you give up comfort for greatness, or will you let comfort steal your potential? Mindset over circumstances, the power of perspective. Why your mindset matters more than your situation. Many people blame their circumstances for their lack of success. They say, I wasn't born rich. I don't have the right connections. I have too many obstacles. But circumstances don't define you. Your mindset does. The most successful people in history came from struggles, failures, and disadvantages. What made them different? Their mindset. A strong mindset turns obstacles into opportunities and failures into fuel for success. Your mindset is the most powerful tool you own. It can either build you up or break you down. Why mindset is more powerful than circumstances. Circumstances change. Mindset determines your response. A fixed mindset says, this is my reality and I can't change it. A growth mindset says, I can improve, adapt, and find a way. Example, Nick Vujicic was born without arms and legs. Instead of seeing himself as a victim, he developed an unstoppable mindset and became a global motivational speaker. Key insight: you can't always control your situation, but you can control how you react to it. The right mindset turns problems into possibilities. People with a victim mentality focus on problems and stay stuck. People with a growth mentality focus on solutions and create opportunities. Example, Oprah Winfrey was born into extreme poverty and faced discrimination. Instead of accepting her situation, she developed a relentless mindset, worked hard, and became a billionaire media mogul. Key insight: your life is shaped not by what happens to you, but by how you think about it. A strong mindset helps you overcome any obstacle. Life will test you with failures, rejections, and setbacks. The people who succeed aren't the ones who avoid hardships. They're the ones who push through it with the right mindset. Example, Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, yet he never became bitter or gave up. He saw it as a test of his strength and later became the president of South Africa. Key insight: your mindset determines whether you break under pressure or rise above it. Mindset creates habits that lead to success. Your beliefs shape your actions. If you believe you are capable and unstoppable, you will take action that leads to success. If you believe you are stuck and helpless, you will stay in the same place. Example, Elon Musk believes anything is possible with enough effort. That mindset is why he built companies like Tesla and SpaceX, despite massive failures. Key insight: success starts in the mind before it happens in reality. How to develop an unstoppable mindset: rewire your thoughts, stop saying I can and start saying how can I. Surround yourself with positive influences. Your mindset is shaped by the people you listen to. Turn failures into learning experiences. Every setback is a lesson that makes you stronger. Take full responsibility for your life. Stop blaming circumstances and start creating solutions. Stay committed to growth. Read, learn, and challenge yourself daily. Final thought: mindset is everything. The difference between winners and losers isn't luck, it's how they think. Will you let your circumstances define you, or will you build the mindset that shapes your success?